Let's have a look at question 4 in this video. So consider a consumer who lives for 2 periods. Now income in first period is 110 euros and income in second period is also 110 euros. The interest rate on borrowing is 100%, meaning that we pay back double the amount. So we pay back what we borrow and once more the amount on top of that. And the interest rate on saving is only 10%. Now we have the utility function given over here, and we have to draw the budget constraint. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind now is that we have different interest rates for borrowing and saving. So we'll have to have different slopes on the budget constraint, because recall, the slope of the budget constraint, which shows us how we can train consumption in the future for consumption in the present, depends on the interest rate. Now, before we draw the slopes, let's first draw what we know. We know that we have income in the first period and in the second period. And we have 110 euros in the first period and 110 euros in the second period. So this is going to be the dot corresponding to that. Now, how can we expand this income? Because the whole point of consumption, of trade of consumption in the present, in the future, is that we would like either to consume more today or to save money and consume more in the future. Let's see how that would work out. For example, if we want to consume more in the present, to have more money, to have more than 110 euros, so if we want to have in the present above 110 euros, we need to borrow money. We need to borrow money because we don't have any more, so we need to borrow. Meaning that the money we would have in the future, we must discount it. The question is, how do we discount it? Well, the rate on borrowing is a full 100%. So how do we discount income? That would be 110 euros from the future discounted by 1 plus the interest rate. And since the interest rate is 100%, it means we discount it by 1 plus 1. So we would have 55 euros worth of value in present value that we borrow from our future consumption to spend now. Now 55 we add on the top of 110. 55 on top of 110. How much does it give us? It gives us 110 plus 55. That's 165 euros that we can maximally consume in the present, in the first period. So 165 will be the intercept of the consumption over here. So let's put it over here like that. 165. That's the maximum consumption that we can have in the present period. Now, if we connect this, what is going to be the slope over here? The slope will be the interest at which we borrow money, and we borrow money at the interest of 100%. So the slope over here will be -2 because we discount by this amount, by 1 plus 1, right? So the slope over here is -2. Hope this makes sense. Now with the same logic, let's see how can we expand our income in the future. Well, our income in the future we can expand by saving money. The interest rate on saving money is only 10%, meaning that if in the future we want to have more than 110 euros, so if in the future we want to have that income in the second period to be greater than 110, then we need to save. And we know that we can save at a 10% interest rate, meaning that the future value of the 110 euros from the present that we can save would be the 110 euros multiplied by 1 plus 10%, because it would be 10% worth more. Now 110 times 1 plus 10% is equal to 121. This is how much the money would be worth in the future if we save it. Now we add this 121 on top of the 110 that we have in the future. So we add it on top of the 110 that we have in the future, and it gives us in total 110 plus 121. It would be 231 euros in the future that we can consume at most. So that would be the maximum consumption that we can have in the future. That would be the intercept on consumption in the second period axis. And if we connect again with the yellow dot, this is how it would look like. And the slope, because it's only 10% savings, the slope would be equal to 1.1. So here the slope would be equal to negative 1.1. So that's how we show that the slopes are different. Over here we are trading an interest rate of 10% only. Over here we're trading an interest rate of 100%. That's why 100% gives us a steeper slope. -2 is a more vertical line, is a more steeper slope than -1.1. Hope this makes sense. Now let's leave it like that in this video. In the next video we'll solve one more question related to consumption between now and the future.